So hi everyone and welcome back to the next video. I really hope you took the chance and did some practice with Mural and maybe created some fancy rooms and just played around to learn about the capabilities. To give you some further help with creating exercises in Mural, in this lecture I would like to show you two things. The first of all is how to create some templates in Mural, which makes it easy to prepare templates and instantiate it. For example, when you deliver the same lecture or training more often or on a frequent basis. And the second thing is I would like to share some example murals with you, just to give you an idea how you could use Mural for different exercise types. Okay, so I would say just jump into it and take a look at how to create templates in Mural. So just let me switch my screen. There it is. Okay, so this is the one mural that we created in the last video. And let's assume we want to use it as a template and instantiate it for maybe different groups or for different trainings. So what we can do then is we just go to this arrow and we can say publish as template. And here I can give it a name. I can call it, for example, my template mural for remote trainings. You also could give it a template description, whatever you want. Then we say publish this mural as template. That's already done. Now we close this window. And what we can do now is we can go back to the dashboard. And here in the dashboard, we didn't discuss this section so far. Here you have one section for your templates. And if you jump into these templates, then you will find some standard templates delivered by Mural. And you also find your individual templates. And here our template should be there, which is here. My template mural. That's just the one we created so far. And let's assume we're going to prepare a new training now. Then what we typically do is we just open a new room. So we already learned, we just click the plus sign. I call it my demo training room. I don't know. It's a private room. Let's create it. And here we already have an empty room. I just stare it. Yeah. So here with the star, you have the option to choose some favorite private rooms, which are always visible. Okay, and now let's say we want to create a new mural. And here we could hit the plus sign, then we would get an empty mural, or we could go to the template section, like there. And we select our template, which is here. And now you can choose that for this template, you want to create a new mural, which means a new instantiation. The mural will be created in the room. Now we select the room that we want to have. And I want to have it in my demo training room, create mural, and there it is. So if we go back now to the dashboard and just open the demo training room, then you see that our new mural is already there. It doesn't have a name yet, so we can open the settings. So I have to open it first. And then we also can give it a name. For example, I prefer to call it Group A Exercise 1. So we go to the mural settings, Exercise 1, Group A. That's it. And as you probably guess, if there is a Group A, then eventually we also have a Group B and a Group C. So now I could follow the same steps, go back to templates and so on. Or what I also could do, I just take the one exercise from Group A and I just hit the small arrow here and I say duplicate. And then I can call it exercise A, Group B, duplicate. One more for Group C, exercise 1, Group C, duplicate. And that's it. And this is basically how we can instantiate our templates in a pretty fast way. And so we already have the training room and we have all the murals that we wanted to see here. And if you prepared the whole room, let's assume we have 4 exercises with 3 groups, then we have 12 murals. Then something else that you can do is you can just take the whole training room and you can duplicate the room. Let's make it like this. So say my demo training room for second training, duplicate the room. And as you see, I also stare it again. Now we have 2 rooms with the same murals. So the typical thing that we do here is we prepare our training room as we have for one training or for one lecture or whatever. And whenever we are going to start the new session of this training, or we start the new semester at university, we just can duplicate the whole template room and we have all the murals prepared. And this is pretty fast. Okay, so I think with these informations, you should be set to organize a training room with all the exercises for Mural. And now I would like to proceed and would like to share some particular exercises that I created for Mural, just to give you an idea how to make use of this canvas-based working concept for different types of exercises. So basically the first one that I would like to share with you is a mini exercise. And this mini exercise is something that I use during a training for middle management, and the training is about software quality. So this exercise is an exercise that I do very early in the training, so it follows different goals. On the one hand, I use it for an activation of the participants, so to get them into working, just to be a little bit more active. And with this mini exercise, I also give them a first contact with our exercise environment. And this exercise is very short and very compact, so I can support them and to help them with understanding the basic features of Mural and how to work with Mural. So that's on the meta level, the reason for this exercise. On the content level, I used this exercise to gather the current state of knowledge of the participants and to reflect together with them on their knowledge on software quality, what they expect it to be, how they approach the topic. And basically, this is something that normally I would deliver as a moderated discussion. So in an on-site training, I would have a group discussion. I would ask the people, I would rephrase, reflect and stuff like that. And this exercise is it's a replacement for such a discussion, because a discussion in online setting is always difficult. People want to talk at the same time. Some people do never talk. You don't see who is not talking. So this type of exercise is what I do on a very frequent basis. So this exercises takes 3 minutes and is executed simultaneously by the individuals. And in the end, we make a common resolution and reflection of the topics. So let's take a look how this exercise looks like and how we could work with such a mini exercise. So the exercise here is very simple. It just looks like this. So as I already mentioned, it only takes 3 minutes of time. So the only thing that they have here is a blank working space with the exercise introduction here. And the exercise introduction only says, what does software quality mean to you? State your associations on the provided mural. And what I typically do is I just show this mural to the participants. Then I select share the visitor link, copy the link, and post it to the chat. So without thinking too much, they just can click the link in the chat and they will end up here. And then I say, okay, for 3 minutes now, everyone please give a statement what software quality means for you. And then during the exercise, people would typically do things like they would write, I don't know, reliability maybe. Then maybe they say all tests are done. Maybe we have the process is followed. Maybe they also have, I need 2 more. They have maintainability of software, and maybe they also want to have usability. Yeah. So what we end up with after 3 minutes is typically an image like this. We have different sticky notes in different sizes everywhere around here, and they just write whatever they want. So we do not care about the size or anything else. And after 3 minutes, during the resolution, again, we're all in the same mural here and our communication channel is still open. And what I'm doing here is to give them a reflection on the topic is I'm structuring the different things in a schema which I don't tell them in the beginning. So here I have reliability and maintainability. Here I have usability and reliability. Then here I have something like all tests are done and the process is followed. And then I'm asking them to guess what's the structuring of the topic. So I try to involve them in a discussion on basis of the work they just delivered. And then basically in this concept, we have a structure with 4 different fields. So sometimes I also really create a framework here. Like this one, I say, okay, we have quality attributes for us. This is something I just highlight to the participants, that some of the quality attributes of software are relevant for the developers of the software. Then we have a second one. We have quality attributes for customer, like this. And just to fulfill this one, or to finish it, basically it should be here, doesn't matter. Then we have some technical measures. And we have some organizational measures. Something like this. So what I'm doing here is I have a discussion together with the participants where we understand together that all the things, no, it doesn't want to be absorbed. Make it like this. So where together we can reflect that the topic, the quality characteristics in that way can be separated. And during a normal exercise, most of the people would only deliver different measures for quality, and I could show them that we have many characteristics identified for measures we take, but only a few for real characteristics. Yeah. So you don't need to understand everything about software right here, but the main aspect here is that they work for a short time, and then we can reflect and discuss all the content that we have prepared and provide the basis for the further discussion. In that case, it would be a question, what is the quality attributes which are relevant for us and which are relevant for the customer? Yeah, and what I also like to do during such an initial exercise in the very beginning, during the resolution, I also show them, for example, that we can change the different sticky notes in the size, we can change the color. So I just give them a basic idea how to work with it and how to resize and all that stuff. So it's just small things, but it makes their life easier during the next exercises, if they can work with different colors and different forms. Yeah, and that's a mini exercise. All in all, this is a good way to structure a discussion in the direction that you want to have and to prepare the ground for the subsequent topic. And again, such a mini exercise for 3 minutes, just by sharing the link here as visitor link, is something that can be done very quickly. And to my opinion, it is, how to say, I feel it more effective than just having a discussion, especially in the remote settings. Okay, let's take a look to the second exercise that I prepared for you. So in the second exercise that I prepared for you, I basically created a so-called opener exercise. And this is, if you remember, then for every topic that we're going to deliver, we first need to open the topic. which means to raise awareness, to prepare the people what we're going to discuss about. And we have different concepts for that. We can use drawing, we can use elements from storytelling, or as in that case, we can use an exercise. And in this particular opener exercise, it's for the same training. Here I would like to elaborate on the topic of software architecture principles for middle management. And the topic of architecture principles is a pretty sophisticated topic, especially for people which maybe don't have a software background. So what I'm doing here is I want to give them an experience that good architecture is not black magic. It's something that we really can understand, we can somehow feel it, and we can make up our minds on the quality of the architecture that is developed. So as this topic is pretty complex and management is not always very, how to say, very skilled in software engineering. So I'm working with Analogize. So I try to give them the understanding with a more easier to understand topic. And then in a second step, we're going to transfer the experiences we made to our software related concept. And this particular exercise, it takes, together with the resolution, it takes about 20 minutes. And again, I used the common resolution and reflection here to transfer all their experiences into the field of software engineering. Okay, let's take a look how this one could look like. So I'm switching over to the Mural again. Okay, so you already see it's pretty much the same template. And the exercise basically starts like this. I'm presenting the participants a few photos. And the task that they should do during 15 minutes is they should consider the presented photos and decide if they look good or not. And then if they made up their mind, if they like these pictures or not, they should discuss why these photos look good. So during the exercise, they see these different pictures and they should discuss in the groups why they look good. And they will talk about the colors, the motif and stuff like that. But basically the thing is, they will pretty fast realize that the pictures look good, but it's difficult to explain why these pictures look good. And this is some experience that we also have in software architecture. Some of our participants here have the feeling that architecture is kind of black art, it's voodoo, and it's feeling and it's hard to get. And same thing with the photos here. They look good, but it's difficult to explain. And so I let them work for 15 minutes and they put their sticky notes on the photos and try to explain and stuff like that. And after these 15 minutes, I will go into a resolution. And in the resolution, I will just reflect on their exercises. And then I will open such a outline. We will discuss it in the next video. And here I show them that we have different principles for good photos. Like the first photo looks good because we have the principle of leading lines, which basically means you have some lines which lead the eye of the observer to the central motif. Then we have some principle like symmetry, which satisfies the eye. We have principles like the rule of third or the golden cut. And we have principles like diagonals and triangles. So the thing is, by knowing the principles, we already can explain why these photos look good. And even more, by knowing these principles, we have better chances to also create good photos. And this exercise here is something that people can relate to and they understand. And they see, in the beginning I thought the photo is just a feeling why it looks good, but with a little bit of knowledge, I can give a rationale why the photos look good. And then in the resolution or in the reflection part, the last 5 minutes, then I ask them to just collect what they know about software or system architecture and if they also know some principles for good architecture. And then we're open. When we have introduced the topic that it's not black art, we can deal with it. And we have also collected their state of knowledge. And now we can further elaborate on the topic of which principles exist, what can I do as a manager if I'm not a software expert and stuff like that. Yeah, and this is a typical opener exercise where I'm working with analogize just to bring the people to a starting position for elaborating the topic that we want to elaborate. Yeah, and of course here you can also work with alternatives depending on the group dynamics. Maybe everyone in the group can select one picture and explain why it's good to the other people of the group. So here you have some freedom depending on the individual group dynamics. Okay, so these were two exercises from some trainings. And now let's take a look to the third exercise, or the third example. And this example is a reflection example that I've chosen from one of my university courses, which is basically a seminar. And in the seminar, the people are set up as small groups. And during the whole semester, they elaborate one particular topic in incremental steps. So they try to analyze something, then we make a reflection section, and then they go into more detail and stuff like that. And after every step, every time they elaborated a topic or aspect of the topic, they create a video presentation which is recorded by them. And the goal of this exercise, why we make it like this, is basically to organize a seminar with huge groups. Normally in a seminar, I would like to let the people work at home, then bring them back into the seminar room, and then everyone shows his results, and we can discuss and elaborate on it. But with 30 people and in a remote setup, this is only hard to achieve. So for that reason, we created a format like this. Yeah, and what we are doing here in this exercise is we want to have the similar results as we have in an on-site seminar. So we want to use the exercise for reflection of the delivered results and for getting ideas how to focus in the next iteration, or on which aspect to focus in the next step. So this exercise is more time intensive than in the training scenario because it takes 90 minutes, like 2 lectures. And basically this time is separated into 2 parts. So the first half, the first 45 minutes, we use for reflection, which basically means that every group watches 3 videos of other groups and provides feedback to the videos that they have watched. So they give an external reflection on the topic. And then in the second half, every group collects all the feedbacks they received for their topic, and they further elaborate on basis of the feedback to readjust the focus or to select aspects where they can go into more detail. Okay, let's take a look how a mural for such a seminar or reflection exercise could look like. It's basically like this, and you see this is a little bit more elaborated. And what you see here is that we have basically a left side and a right side, which reflects the structure of the seminar organization. So for every group, we create one mural. And for example, one group has the topic privacy in smart buildings. So their job is to analyze what does privacy mean, what are the risks, how to improve and stuff like that. And so they create the video for the elaborations, and then some other groups watch the videos, and straight here they give their feedback, which means they leave some messages like what did you like, what could be improved, which suggestions they have for the next round, for example, what they would love to hear in more detail, and maybe also some general hints. Yeah, so basically we are collecting the feedbacks for one topic given by different other groups. And if this is done, for every group we have plenty of feedback, plenty of reflections. And then in the second half, every group goes into their individual mural, considers the feedback, and then move to the right side. And here they can further detail their topic. So they have a little place where they can collect literature and resources or sources, and they could make some initial brainstorming, how to proceed further and stuff like that. So basically, the idea is to give them an initial impulse for the next working aspect. And I have to admit that this framework for this seminar Yeah, it has been created over just one weekend when I learned that I have so many people there and it's remote because of COVID. But the results were really encouraging. So I received the feedback also from the students that they liked the way of working very much because they felt that they have some suitable structure where they could keep track with the topic and their elaborations. And so I had some good experiences with this, and I think I will keep it even if COVID is hopefully over soon and we can go back to the on-site lectures again. Okay, so yeah, basically that's it for this video. I hope you like the concepts of how to work with templates, and I hope these 3 simple examples that I shared with you are provide some inspiration for you. And again, same thing like in the last videos, just try it out, practice, experiment, and feel free to create your own fancy rooms. And maybe again, you will also have fun with that. So that's it for now. See you in the next video and all the best.